for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Do we have public comment this morning, this evening?
I do.
Want to go ahead, Jan? Okay, Jan, you want to go ahead and talk?
Sure, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Jan Norris from Montgomery County. A law firm specializing in U.S. Supreme Court petitions will be working with ISAC to file an amicus brief in support of Shelby and Story County's ordinance case. ISAC is asking counties to support it, and they held a webinar with attorneys to discuss. A few takeaways I had after listening to the replay were: there are 4 key problems with the 8th Circuit ruling against Shelby County and other factors which might help it get considered by the Supreme Court. No one, the state or PHMSA, is considering safety when doing routing, only the pipeline company. County Home Rule Authority is being threatened, which could lead to other projects also, such as wind and solar. The case the amicus brief is supporting focuses on the Federal Pipeline Safety Act. This is about local control, not the pipeline. The amicus brief is due November 6th, but counties have until November 21st to send their $500 contribution. In Q&A, the attorneys also discussed counties are not required to allow Summit to come in and give presentations. The lawyer who reads the filings has noticed Summit says things in public meetings, but may say something very different in a filing. The company does not want to have to meet county ordinances or obtain local road crossing permits, etc. And then they ended the webinar with saying, this is an aggressive push by industry against county authority utilizing the utility commission outside of the courts. Mills County Supervisor Richard Crouch called me on Sunday and said the ISAC board is quite concerned about the future implications to local government, so they have been working on this for months. I hope you will vote to support the initiative ISAC is making in trying to protect counties and future of local control nationwide. The more counties that participate, the greater strength the filing has. $500 is not very much money to invest in something that has such potentially big consequences to counties and their home rule in the future. As always, I am happy to be a resource if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. Appreciate that. Okay, Marty.
Well, I've probably got a few of the same ideas that Jan had because I'm going to speak about that amicus brief. The Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals has said that the counties have no authority to zone for expansion of cities or other entities. Also, you have no ability to have setbacks for safety for cities, schools, playgrounds, and so on, as you apparently are not smart enough to understand safety and zoning issues, so they think. PHMSA and the state of Iowa / the IUC do not consider routing or zoning for safety or economic development when they grant permits for industrial use. Former chair of the IUC, who was not a Summit carbon connected individual, said it is the duty of the counties to make setback regulations for safety or zoning and economic development. County home rule is at stake, like Jan said, and the principle of subsidiarity is being threatened by the power grab of the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals, the IUC, and Summit Carbon. Subsidiarity is the idea that the lowest level of an organization is the best suited to meet the needs of the people they represent, meaning that you supervisors know the most about the local area you represent. You know more than the governor, and you know certainly more than the federal government knows about the needs of our local area. Your authority is at stake for any future issues you face if this circuit court ruling stands. Summit has ignored county home rule by their blatant disregard for zoning regulations. The best example of this is Erling, Iowa and Shelby County, which had a 1,000-foot setback ordinance from any city in Shelby County on the books for 25 years. Summit ignored that and went 100 feet from the city limits. Going to court is something that I never wanted to do, but this aggressive push by industry using the IUC for cover, all outside of the court system, is quite appalling. Please support the amicus brief. This may be the most important thing you do for the future of the county and the role of supervisors to represent your county constituents. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty. Anyone else with a comment? Okay, we'll move on to the engineer update.
Good afternoon, JD King, Page County Engineer. A lovely November Wednesday in Page County today. Sun was shining. Gonna enjoy this while it lasts. Update went out Monday afternoon, I believe. And the map, the utility map went out this morning before lunch sometime. I direct your attention to the engineer's update. The blades are out in the districts. A couple trucks hauling rock at the beginning of the week. Had more trucks hauling today. 5 crews finishing up on the D Avenue field entrance culverts that replaced the bridge that was damaged. And there's another bridge, similar bridge to the south of that one. And we're going to replace it with twin pipes also as soon as we are finished with the one up north.
Is that the same as it's another field entrance?
It's another field entrance, except on that one, there's also a residence and some farm buildings back there. When we did the seal coat work on D Avenue several years ago, I went back and there was somebody living back there then. There's no one living there now, but there's still the farmer still needs access for his livestock.
And this is a preventative measure to
Correct.
keep what happened.
Correct. We've been replacing field entrance bridges with pipes over the last several years. We just didn't get that one soon enough.
Okay.
I had 2 mowers running. One's on the gravel, one's on the pavements. The one on the pavement is doing 2 passes. That's the batwing. On the right of ways that are larger, the pavements, M32, M48, J64, J20s to 71. Always like that, we make 2 passes to reduce the vegetation that'll catch snow. Also have a skid steer mowing brush down on J64. They're getting toward the west end of that route. And today I had 4 of the men attend winter maintenance training in Atlantic. I'll hear about that tomorrow. Our winter service for the snowplow trucks continues. I saw tailgate sanders in the shop, so they're putting those on the back of the trucks. They don't haul rock every day. Valve problem on number 42. I heard on the radio Monday morning that it was ready to go operational again. 45 had an air leak. Haven't heard about that. 50 and 55 are gonna be or have been in Omaha or will be. We have a sign truck we purchased last year, waiting on it to show up. It's the cabin chassis made by Dodge, is down in Kentucky somewhere, or somewhere in the southeast, and it's waiting on a part before they'll release it to the Altech people in St. Joe for the service body. So we're waiting patiently for that. Last Friday, I signed some lease paperwork for that mower tractor. It'll show up in the spring. We're waiting on closeout paperwork. Waiting on the DOT right now for the closeout of the Essex North Bridge. I had a couple guys on Monday measure and marked out pavement patching on J52 between the county line and Coyne. Well, between the county line and F Avenue, which is the designated haul route for the wind farm contractors. Sent out a request for quotes to 2 patching contractors that we've had in the county before. Got it back. And the patching will be extensive compared to the first time. But we met a representative of the low contractor out there in Coyne today. They'll start tomorrow afternoon. You should have seen notifications from the road notification tool, and I sent a news release to the newspapers and the radio stations and the newspaper, and also the contractor for the wind farm, because we're going to close the road. And we're going to close the road to through traffic. And that'll affect their operations also.
And is this something that they are paying for?
Yes.
Okay.
I did send an email to the one of the Mid-Am guys to advise him of that. This was the second iteration of patching that needed to be done before winter. For the problems we have on that road, we can't take them that way through the winter.
Right.
It'd be hard on the plows, it's hard on vehicles. It'd be a safety hazard. We're working with Mid-Am also on turning over the gravel roads. We have arrived at a understanding we're not going to put all the rock on this fall. We're going to arrive at a dollar amount that it's going to take to put a rock on the roads, and we'll do that in the spring when we don't have to worry about losing all the rock over the winter. Next week on Wednesday, Secondary Road Department's going to have a safety meeting. The main topics are snow related and winter things, and the chainsaw, because sometime we'll shift our operations from road maintenance to tree cutting. Questions for the update?
Okay, back in the shop, number 50 in Omaha, 55 next in Omaha. What are they doing?
I'm not exact sure of the details there, except they needed to go to Omaha.
Okay,
But those are the oldest 2 trucks we have in the fleet. Or those are the trucks that are going away
okay.
when we get our other trucks next year.
Okay.
How we have to, they driven up there or they hauled up there or what?
Sometimes they're towed up there.
At our expense?
Yeah.
Is there,
Do we not ever fix anything in our shop?
that was my next question. Do we
Because
not have,
it seems like we send a lot of stuff out
yeah,
and we should be taking care of it
do
ourselves.
we not have mechanics that do that anymore?
We are able to fix some things, but the vehicles are more computerized than they used to be.
Is it lack of training? Are we not trained to do that? We need to get certified or up to date?
We talked with my maintenance superintendent,
You what?
shop superintendent a little bit about that.
Okay. It just seems like everything's going to Omaha or other places, and used to be that we had mechanics that would do a lot of the fixing, other things, so
The vehicles have changed.
I'm sure that's true, but still. We probably need to hire ones who are more knowledgeable, maybe, or more trained, I don't know. I have one more thing. I had a person who's worried about, winter. There are burn piles along 220th, and I'm sure there's burn piles in a lot of places, but between P and Q and, we know with dryness and everything, you're not burning, but, the concern is drifting snow if they're not burned before then. So might keep that one in mind,
Okay.
because there are quite a few evidently.
Yes, just
So-
off the town here, there was a pretty extensive tree cutting last fall,
Yeah,
or last winter.
Yeah.
And we won't burn unless there's snow on the ground.
yeah. She's just afraid of, the drifting snow when it does come, if those
Right.
piles aren't gone, causing a problem. So, yep. Okay, any other questions?
You turn your attention to the utility map,
Okay,
send it to you this morning. This shows a fiber route that Mid-Am's gonna have placed in for rural broadband. It doesn't connect because I'm just showing the parts that are on Page County right away. The other parts that connect these three segments are plowed or placed in the DOT right away. This project for Mid-Am includes 4 counties: Page, Montgomery, Adams, and Taylor. This is just a small part of that. The permit and all the sheets, they sent everybody out they didn't separate out Page counties. They sent the whole package out. It's 132 pages worth of information. But this is the part relevant to us.
so we need a motion on this approval. The utility permit.
I'll make a motion that we approve the utility permit for Olson Consulting Engineers.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, the next item on our agenda is Jeff Curtis from the San Hills Group for a jail update.
Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good, Jeff.
It looks like we're getting ready for the cold weather to hit us here a little bit. So hopefully everybody's got things buttoned down pretty good. Quite a bit of winds today, but out at the job site, everything's progressing really well. Full house out there. We have O'Neill Electric that continues with their overhead ceiling work, we'll call it. We're running a lot of their mains and stuff. They're also assisting with the masons, doing the in-wall rough-ins with the CMU walls that are being laid up currently inside the facility. And they continue with installs of the switchgear, a lot of the generator components when it comes to the automatic transfer switches and manual transfer switches. They're getting ready to pour those pads also for some of the ground transformers that'll be going inside the building. The Mid-American is on site. We are currently getting the conductors pulled from 71 to their transformer on the outside of the building. From there, we'll actually be switching over to permanent power here inside the building via the normal service. So that's a good milestone to have. So that's a really nice way to get project going with the main switchgear being in, ready to go. So one of those milestones that we definitely like to see. They will continue with some underground work out on the north side of the building. Anticipated delivery of the generator is early to mid part of December. So we'll get that housekeeper or that pad poured out there ready for Cummins to put that into position for that install. So that's turning and tracking well. We have Cunningham. They continue again. They're working with the masons too, and they're through wall penetrations for duct work or the rest of that information or the rest of that. And they work with the masons on that. And then they are also working their way from the east side of the building to the west side with their main duct installs that are above ceilings right below the bottom of the precast roof planks. So that's going really well. Graphite team is out there. They continue with the metal stud framing, basically right at the main entry point where we have some of the public entrance areas and then also some of the extra break rooms that we have in there ready to go. So they're working directly in hand with the masons and also the electricians and the plumbing and HVAC contractors, which is, of course, Cunningham. Cunningham continues with some of their toilet, the carrier installs, getting ready for those walls to be framed up or laid up around those. Last week, we did have team services on site to do some concrete testing and verifying rebar placement on the entries and some of the exterior areas that were poured. And then Jesse's Stickler Concrete team also did the pours at the what we call the stoop caps at all the entrances in the building, excluding the sally port, waiting on the catch basin to come in there. Upcoming work, again, teams will be working directly with the masons. Masons are making good headway. Right now, we currently have varies anywhere from 6 to 7 with Brian, the superintendent, being on site, which is a nice working platform for them. They're working off scaffolding instead of the building. We will have graphite construction will continue with their wall framing, and then they also will be starting enclosing the building where we have our doors and those windows. We'll get those sealed up, ready to go. We do have temp heaters due to be on site next week, and then we'll get those prepped, ready to go, start adding some temporary heat to the building. That way we can start getting the building dried out and, unfortunately, getting ready for wintertime. But with that comes spring, so it's means to the end. And then it seems to be tracking really well. Schedule is still showing right around the end part of April, first week in May for substantial completion, we call it. We'll go through the final commissionings of all the security systems after that, and then we'll be prepping, getting ready for dispatch and 911 services to start going into the building. Right now, the schedule is showing them to be starting that install early part of June and finishing up right about the first week in July. So everything seems to be trending really well. Any questions for me?
A lot going on.
Nope.
A lot going on. It's going to get busier. We like it that way.
Yes. We like it moving. Every time I see the pictures, I see more things going in and up, and very interesting.
It'll be here probably another week and a half, 2 weeks. A lot of the masonry walls will be definitely given definition. They'll be finishing up what we call the demising walls, which will be the walls that run perpendicular to the corridors or the main pathways inside the building, which will be really nice. And then they'll start laying up the corridor walls, the detention, the metal panels of the actual cells themselves are due to be in mid part of December. And then we have what we call our detention door frames, which of course, exactly like they sound, they're the doors getting into the actual day rooms, which of course house the individual cells. So those are slated to be in about the middle end part of December. We will be doing what's called a pin-through application on that, which of course is fully architecturally and structurally approved. That way we can keep going with the rest of the trades doing their rough ends and there's some of their detail work. And then once those frames come in, we'll anchor those to the masonry walls, grout the frame solid, and get ready for the detention glazing to be going in. So moving quite well.
Is Stickler about done then with their part?
On the exterior, or excuse me, on the interior, and then the stoops, we'll be waiting till spring, as of right now, to do any type of paving.
Okay. So they've done about everything they can do right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless we get an early spring or something. Get a little nervous putting the finished product down because it is a concrete drive going up in, and with snow plowing and stuff like that, we can chew up the curbs, and you can do, it's called Dugan stone patch to them. But again, it's finished product. We paid for a brand new building, so we're going to make sure it's a brand new building,
Exactly.
including the drives.
Anything else? Any other questions? Nope. Thanks, Jeff.
Alrighty, folks, we'll talk to you soon. Have a good evening.
Thank you, you too.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Okay, next we have Mid-American Energy, and I see John's there.
Hey, happy Wednesday.
Yes.
So,
Very nice.
well, first of all, it was good to see Todd on Thursday. I think that was a nice um, tour
Yeah.
around the wind
Taking the
farm.
time.
So,
Yep.
But now every turbine in the entire project is topped off. So we have 3 out of the 10 circuits already energized. By the end of the week, it'll be 6 out of 10. So I think it's fair to say that we are really at the home stretch for sure. We don't have any more crane crossings at this point, but we do still have to get the cranes disassembled and moved out yet. That transformer for the substation has still not made it. I don't know exactly what's held it up, but supposedly the transport company now is saying it's scheduled for transit between November 13th and 21st. So I don't know. That's still supposedly subject to change, so we'll see. But like I've been telling you, that's the last big delivery for this whole project at this point, I would say. So we'll see when it gets there, but been expecting it for a bit. Any questions?
So how do they do that crane then when you gotta get it out of there? It comes all apart, I assume, and then
Mhm.
they can transport the various parts. They're oversized
Right. Yep.
loads, I suppose,
Yep.
or
You kind of assemble it on site, and then you would disassemble it on site, and then I guess it'll take probably multiple trucks, if I'm not mistaken, to get it all out of there. But you know,
So do you have any information from the tour? You guys?
yeah, it was very I was gonna share a little bit that it was very informative and it was kind of neat to see. I met Will, who's I think the project engineer, or is that what was his
construction manager.
manager? Okay.
Mhm.
And so he took us around and saw the substation and the turbines and how the roads, access roads are to those turbines. And then we talked about the different sizes of turbines that we had discussed in the settlement and just some facts. I didn't realize that they had at one time probably close to 300 people working on these. So that was interesting. And I think having a good working relationship with Mid-American and then the site people is good in case there's issues. I feel like they're adequate to respond or quickly to respond to those if you bring them up and we talked about some road things and some level B roads that had gravel added to them and so they'll still be classified as a level B but they'll have some gravel on them as well and so yeah uh, it was really for me. I had a lot of hands-on or experience um, looking at those up close, and so like I said, it was when they turn on, that'll be another chapter in seeing how people do and handle it and things like that. So, but I was grateful for the opportunity and the time out of everybody's schedule to take me around and show me things. And so I appreciate that.
Good deal.
It's very nice of you to say, Todd. I appreciate that. And like I told you, and this is always true. I mean, we really value our relationship with Page County, both with you guys, the officials, but with the citizens of Page County. I mean, we really value you guys, and I hope that you feel that.
Yep.
I'm glad you could do that.
Yeah, it's great.
Drove down, but I just went around and looked at the different places, but I didn't have anybody to talk to or anything. So it was interesting seeing it, but I don't have the understanding that you probably have from that. So that's
Well, Judy, we got
good.
to get you a tour too.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So anyway, I'll just take your word for it. How's that? Well, maybe we'll go when everything's up and running. So
There you
sounds
go.
good. Thanks, John. We appreciate that.
Yep. Thank you guys.
All right, have a good week. Okay, now we've come to the time to discuss the ISAC amicus brief contribution, and I noticed that they pronounced it a different way. Amicus, I think. So we have the letter that we received from ISAC that was dated October 20th. We received it the 27th. It's asking, as we know, both Jan and Marty have spoken to it. Debbie Wheeler also sent a text about that. And so everybody, those people are all in favor of it. In the past, I know in years past, we have had other legal things done through ISAC where the counties have contributed. So they're asking for $500 of a $25,000 contribution. The $25,000, I did watch, and I don't know whether anybody else watched or not, but I watched the webinar last Thursday on the pipeline thing and saw it. And so and both Jan and Marty attributed the information to that webinar. So it's up to us. We need to have the check sent to ISAC by the 21st of November. And that will be the 25,000 is a total cost. It's not going to be anything else. So we just need to discuss that and approve it or not approve it. And my feeling, and it's my feeling, I can't make it a motion, but my feeling is that we pay this, give the $500 from Page County to handle this brief. But that's up to Todd and
No, and I saw that Montgomery County did pass it. And I think it's important to stand together as far as home rule and at least defending that. And so yeah, I would say 100% support it. And I would make the motion that we approve the $500 check to ISAC for the amicus.
However you can say it.
Yeah, however you want to say it, briefing.
Jim, how do we say that? Amicus?
Amicus,
Okay. They were saying it differently on the thing, so yeah, okay. Okay, so we have a motion. Do I have a second?
A little further discussion. So the 500, is it gonna be just one time?
One time, yes, one time.
So they're not
Where,
gonna come out.
as they said in the.
I can make that in the motion, a one-time
Yeah, that's okay.
part of the motion.
As they said in the webinar, they'd be happy to take more, but $500 is what they're asking for. So yeah, for Beach County.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried 3-0. Okay. So Kristen, if you will get a check made out to ISAC and send that. Okay. We will be supportive of that. Okay. Our next agenda item is an abatement request from the city of Shenandoah for parcel 102 West Sheridan, Iowa, also known as 0519-287-115 zeros. So I'm trying to think if I've got it was a certificate of title that was taken by the city of Shenandoah. So need a motion on that one. It was sent by the Shenandoah city attorney, and it is a legal district court thing that went to the city.
I'll make a motion that we approve the abatement request from the city of Shenandoah for parcel 0519-287-115-000, resolution number 38.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that motion is carried. Next request is from NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness. I just heard a little bit more about this yesterday at my interagency meeting. And so they're asking for the use of the courthouse lawn on May 23rd, 2026. So they're getting ahead of the game. They will be having a fundraising walk May 23rd. 3 p.m. to, no, 3. Is this really right? 3 p.m. to, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay. So I need a motion for approval.
So what do they do?
They're just having a walk, a fundraising walk to raise funds for NAMI, which is the National Alliance for Mental Illness of Southwest Iowa.
So they set something up in the courthouse yard
Just the yard, yeah, evidently.
and then they're just gonna walk.
Grounds,
Walk around the ground.
evidently, yes. Chris, it's all of a sudden that's gone out of my mind. Anyway, she was talking about it yesterday.
Make a motion, we approve the use of the courthouse lawn for NAMI Southwest Iowa, May 23rd.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Again, I think everything is okay. Okay, board communication. I'll just go ahead. I did go to watch the webinar of the pipeline on the 30th. On the 31st, there was a webinar on the opioid settlement. It was a peer meeting for people, counties, to run over ideas of how to spend the money and what to spend it for. Lots of things out there, but that it seems to me that Kristen watched it too, didn't you? That the larger counties have much more opportunities to spend things on. And so we need to try a little harder to come up with things. I did ask questions about, since we've had things presented to us. We had something about a scanner, a body scanner for the jail. That's a no. A drug dog, probably not. So that's a no. So those are two things that we've had presented that are out. But yet again, they also mentioned that you can do about anything. So it's kind of interesting. I need to read Exhibit E again and read it over and over to come up with things. Because there are different things that are out there that we can try. We can do a task force. Some counties have done that. Some people have talked about buying an application for, I guess it was Mills County, Richard, talked about buying an application for sheriff's phones. They put the apps in when they're in the cars, they can see about whether the person that they're stopping or interacting with has, I guess, a history of opioid use. Is that kind of what you got from that? Yeah.
I really felt like they thought it was preventative.
Yeah.
It's more of what they
Right.
wanted was preventative.
Yeah. That's look at treatment and prevention. So there's another one that talked about wireless heart monitors. They do the heart rate respirations for incarcerated folks. There's ISU does an extensive thing for strengthening families, again, a proactive ages 10 to 14. They did talk about EMS equipment. We've heard about Narcan, and it seems like everybody and their brother has Narcan. And so that's not necessarily an issue to do now because so many people have it. That people should have, but people should carry it. They have a to-go bag, and that all officers, I'm sure, carry it too. They're gonna send a thing out so we can go back over what we did. But anyway, the counties need to make a good faith effort as related to the opioids, also alcohol and meth. There's no time frame on spending the money. We do an annual report, which the supervisor has done, and I'm going to be turning that over to our auditor to start doing. So she needs one more thing to do. Anyway, they did talk about medicine or things for inmates, detox costs, counties joining together and doing some things, defibrillator monitors, etc. So there's a lot of things out there, but it sounds like a lot of the counties at this point haven't done a whole lot. So anyway, and then I had an interagency meeting yesterday. So anyway, Todd, you wanna?
I have not had anything. I had, like I said, I went down toured last week on Thursday, and that's been about it.
Okay. And you have a.
Landfill Thursday.
You had it or you have it? You have it. You have it Thursday. Okay. 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 I really appreciate having the webinars, so that we don't have to, travel a long distance and we still get input from a lot of people, on these things. So it's a good thing. Okay, all right. Approval of claims,
Make a motion, we approve the claims.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. And our meeting minutes from October 28th, I believe. Need to approve.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We need to go over our meetings coming up. Next week, we have a 9 a.m. canvas on November the 12th, which is a Wednesday because the courthouse is closed on the 11th for Veterans Day. So that will be at 9 a.m. for the canvas. And then we'll have our regular meeting at that time. We'll follow with the regular meeting. Okay. Then on November 18th, which is the following Tuesday, we will have our second tier canvas. But we'll have our regular meeting at 4 p.m. that day. So just to let people know ahead what's going on. Shoot, I just thought of something. Yeah, but second tier. I think we'll be having if we can, I can't, that November 18th will not work for Snyder because Jason said that wouldn't work for him. So we'll have to come up with a different date on that. There was one more thing and it just went out of my mind. Okay, guess we'll just go ahead with that. Oh, the green. Troy has, we were requested, we were sent a thing by Operation Green Lights for Veterans. And we tried to get something in place. This is November 4th through the 11th, I believe. And we will be having green lights here at the courthouse. But they're going to be a little bit late coming in. So just so if you see the courthouse going green, you'll know that's an Operation Green Light for Veterans. So we'll have that going on. Okay, could I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
443. Thank you.